Should look a little intimidating. You got fill in all this stuff. I already did the coordinates, so I'm actually going to leave that to you guys. You can just take out this page and just write them if you want to, you know. I want to talk about you figuring out all these angles. There's no memorizing here. You count your way around this circle. Okay, I'm going to go around in degrees, and I'm going to name all these angles in degrees, and I'll show you how quickly you can do this. Ready? It's 0 degrees to start. This is also 360 degrees. Yeah? Well, watch. I'm going to count by 90-degree chunks. This is how you figure out every angle in the circle. You count in chunks. Ready? I'm going to go 90 degrees. I get up here. I'm going to put 90 up here because it's 90 degrees. Now, look, if you count a second 90 degrees, where are you? There's one 90-degree angle. There's the second one. You're right here. 90 plus 90 is 180. You see how this works? You add angles to get around. So if I add another 90-degree angle, where am I? I was at the top, then I add 90. Well, now I'm at the bottom of the circle. And 180 plus 90 is 270. Okay, if I add another 90, I end up here. 270 plus 90 is 360. I just counted around the circle in 4 equal chunks. Well, now watch, I'm going to do it again. And I want you to pay particular attention to this because when I get to these blanks for the radians, that's going to throw you and it's going to be weird for you. But if you follow this logic, it's going to be okay. Ready? I'm going to go halfway to the 90 degrees. The one in the middle, we've already talked about a couple times today, is definitely 45 degrees. Ready? Go half of 90 degrees, you get 45. Add another 45, you get 90. Add another 45, you're in the middle of this. So go 90 plus 45. This is 135 degrees. Go another 45 degrees and you're here. 135 plus 45 is definitely 180. Now go another 45 degrees, you're in the middle of this quadrant and you need to add 45 to 180. 45 plus 180 is 225. Right? Now, add another 45 degrees and you're down here. 225 plus 45 is definitely 270. Then I'm going to go to the 45 degree angle in the fourth quadrant. 270 plus 45 is 315. And then if you go 45 more, you're back here and you get 360. I just counted around the circle in 8 equal chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I got one more trick. This first angle right here is 30 degrees. I'm going to go around and I'm going to count 30-degree chunks. Ready? 30 degrees. 30 more degrees is going to skip over that middle. It goes 30, and then this one, and then 90. And I think we all know that this is 60, right? 30 plus 30 is 60. 60 plus 30 is 90. Now notice I hop over the middle here, right? That's 15 and that's 15. So we're going to ignore the 45-degree angles when we're counting by 30 degrees. 30, 60, 90, add 30 to that and you land right here. Isn't that 120 degrees? Okay, skip the 45 in the middle, add 30 more. Aren't you at 150 degrees? Go 30 more, 150 plus 30 is 180. Add 30 more and you're at 210. Skip over the 45, add 30 more and you're at 240. Add 30 more and look, you're at 270. Add 30 more, you're at 300. Add 30 more, you're at 330. Add 30 more, you're home at 360. So now that you have those two pictures, the last one and this one, I could ask you questions like, hey, what's the sine of 240? Well, you know the sine is the y value. So you go to where 240 is, and you go get the y value. The sine of 240 is negative square root of 3 over 2. I could ask you, what's the cosine of 270? You would figure out, dang it, this thing keeps moving. You figure out 270 is down here, and I asked you the cosine of 270, so you go find that coordinate right there, which is 0. All right, now the last thing I'm going to do with you guys today, I'm going to do the same thing and count around the circle, but I'm doing this in radians. It's the first time we've done that, and this is not easy. Follow the patterns. Trust me. 0 radians is the same thing as 2 pi. Okay, I'm going to go to the easiest one I know. If all the way around the circle is 2 pi, then halfway around the circle is just pi, isn't it? Okay, cut that in half for this 90-degree angle, and that's pi over 2. That's how we write it. We don't divide it. We don't put 3.14 in the calculator and divide by 2. We just make it a fraction, call it pi divided by 2, or pi over 2. Now I'm going to count in 90-degree chunks just like I did here, but watch how I write it. There's 1 pi over 2, and then this right here would be 2 pi over 2. I'm going to get a blank sheet of paper here. That's not a blank sheet of paper. Dang it. Man, that was so cool just a second ago. I was being all sly. Okay, so this right here would be 2 pi over 2. That's 1 pi over 2. That's 2 pi over 2. Don't the 2's cancel? And you just get pi. Okay, well then I go down here. This will be 3 pi over 2. See what I mean? 1 pi over 2. 2 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2. When we get back up here, it would be 4 pi over 2, but doesn't that reduce to 2 pi? Okay, now what we did next with degrees after we went from 0 to 90 and 180 and 270 and 360 is we went halfway and we called it 45 degrees. Half of 90 is 45. That's the reason that number 360 is so cool. It divides up so evenly with all these integers. Well, now we're using fractions, okay? So 0 all the way up to here is pi over 2. I need to know what half of pi over 2 is. I need to know what half of pi over 2, 1/2 of pi over 2, isn't that pi over 4? So this is pi over 4. I'm going to count around the circle in 45-degree chunks. That's the quadrantal angles and the ones right in the middle of the quadrants. By pi over 4. Here we go. Ready? There's 1 pi over 4. This would be 2 pi over 4. But doesn't 2 pi over 4 simplify to 1 pi over 2? Okay, let me start over. 1 pi over 2. Dang it. 1 pi over 4. 2 pi over 4. I'm going to go to the next 45-degree angle. That's got to be 3 pi over 4. Right? 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. This would be 4 pi over 4, but that simplifies. So I'm going to go down here, and that's 5 pi over 4. Then this down here would be 6 pi over 4. Doesn't 6 pi over 4 reduce? Then this 45-degree angle has got to be 7 pi over 4. And this would be 8 pi over 4, which reduces to 2 pi. If all the way around the circle is 2 pi, halfway around the circle is half of that, it's pi. A quarter of the circle is pi divided by 2, and half of that is pi over 4, and I can count in 45-degree angle chunks by adding pi over 4. 1 pi over 4 plus another one is 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4. I got to do this one more time. Okay, 30 degrees. How many 30-degree angles does it take for me to get to pi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 30, 60, 90, 120. Skip the ones in the middle, 150, 180. There are 6 30-degree angles to get to pi. If I'm going to take pi and divide it into 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal 30-degree angles, that means this angle is pi divided by 6. I'm going to go through, I'm going to count, and I'm going to reduce them as I go, okay? There's 1 pi over 6. Skip the pi over 4 because that's not 30 degrees, that's only 15. So I get here, that's going to be 2 pi over 6. 2 pi over 6 reduces to pi over 3. 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6. 3 pi over 6 reduces to pi over 2. This one would be 4 pi over 6, but that reduces to 2 pi over 3. This next, here we go. Let me start over here again. 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6. So that makes this 5 pi over 6. And the last one would be 6 pi over 6, which of course reduces. That makes this one 7 pi over 6. Skip over here and I would get 8 pi over 6, but 8 pi over 6 reduces to 4 pi over 3. Then another 30 would be 9 pi over 6. 9 pi over 6 reduces to 3 pi over 2. This would be 10 pi over 6. That's 5 pi over 3. And this would be 11 pi over 6. Look at that, you did it. You got all of these special right triangle angles in degrees and in radians by counting around the circle in chunks. Never memorize anything on this unit circle. Count. Use some kind of functional knowledge in your head with patterns. You can fill the whole thing and you don't have to spend any time measuring anything. That's a waste of your time. Now I do want you to fill in all of these, but I do want you to remember something. Like these are all positive positives over here to the right and up. These are all negative positives. These are all negative negatives. And these are all positive negatives. Oops. Now you got to remember the 45 is the one's the same. That's the square root of 2 over 2 and the square root of 2 over 2. So you go over here, that'll be negative square root of 2 over 2, positive square root of 2 over 2. You go down here, both of them are negative. Negative square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. You go down here, it'll be positive and negative. So positive square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. And then how do you fill these in? The square root of 3 is bigger, right? So let's just go to this one. I won't even start in the first quadrant. Right here, that's a smaller x and a bigger y. Smaller x and a bigger y. So this is going to be a 1/2. This is going to be a square root of 3 over 2. And because we're in this quadrant, this one is negative. That one is positive. Right? So I could ask you things like, hey, what's the cosine of 300 degrees? Here's your job. Let me go find 300 degrees. There it is. The cosine is this value right here. And the x is smaller than the y. So it's going to be positive 1/2. The cosine of 300 is 1/2. The cosine of 300 is 1/2. The cosine of 300 is 1/2. All right, your assignment is on my math lab. I'm going to have you fill in the rest of those on your own. We'll do more of section 6.2 tomorrow. Have a good day.